can click this and go, yo, what up? How's it going?
Hey, dude, going so well.
Good to hear. Good to hear, man. We've got Sero 1 on order.
Yeah.
Copy. You're gonna want to side those mid blocks. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the idea behind this is tape swing and rapid tape strike. Using those to eventually make it to where it cannot be blocked with face shield.
Okay.
Because then it's just like can't block with the mid. If I end the tape swing on a mid, or if I do the rapid tape strike enhance, and it just stops a lot of breaker problem. Yeah, so I don't know. That was kind of the thought. I'm just kind of goofing off with some old cards and some new cards while I'm waiting for set 3 to come out. So that was kind of the idea. I was watching your was it the 1K you played back in set 1 with Order Sero to kind of get some ideas here, and then add some new set 2 cards to it. The attack package is probably the part that I've struggled the most with. There's just like a lot of options on Order. I haven't really found a spot to like kind of narrow in. I was thinking maybe stun with indiscriminate shock, but I'm also not afraid to run like dropkick slicer and go full kick package if we want to totally revamp this thing.
I love that. How neato. Yeah, that's neat. I dig that. I've been a pretty big advocate of the idea of, and I quote, I hate rapid tape strike and sudden tape shot. I think they are bad cards.
Fair enough.
I think they are overcosted and not good.
Yeah, the commit pretty rough, especially early game with a rapid tape strike. If you find it on turn 2, doesn't really feel good to commit that extra.
Correct. Yeah, it feels pretty rough. We could do this one.
The other kind of idea I had going on was just that, like, kind of want them to be blocked just because of Sero's, if they partial it, you get draw 2. So speed isn't really a huge issue. Like, I kind of took out a lot of the speed buffs in this deck for that reason. I don't need it.
So there's the idea of, like, have you fought against Sero?
I have not. That's actually like part of what I was doing. This was like nobody's ever brought Sero to my locals, so I'm gonna bring this tomorrow and see what happens.
Okay. Here's the big thing about Sero. You either full block or you don't block. Those are the two options. Yep. You don't ever half block Sero. You're going to win locals if nobody else has fought against Sero, because they're going to half block things, and you're going to accidentally become an 8 hand size character for the turn. You're going to go, oh shit, I get to build 5 foundations and hold 2 more cards. I get to build 4 foundations and hold 3 cards. You'll never kill me, right? And they're going to half block you twice, and you're going to have 11 or 10 cards in your hand. You're going to be like, I don't know what to do with all this power. I just don't know. And so, like, there's just like, man, there's a lot that you get to do in how you controlling how your opponent plays the game, but at the same time, your opponent either full blocks you or they don't block you. And so if you don't put the speed on the moves, then they just full block you, and they just say, yo, you just don't get to do the thing, right?
Sure.
Doing some more looking, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. There's like a billion order cards.
There certainly are, and we're only getting more. You have a Ward the Victor?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
We'll take a peek at that card. That one's cool. That one's not fair. This card's not fair. That card's good. I'm gonna go ahead and just put 3 Think Fast in your main board, and you'll thank me later.
Cool.
We're just not even gonna debate it.
Yep. It felt greedy, but I get it.
If you see it, you win the game.
It's
Like,
just so
much easier to win the game.
Key for him. Yeah.
4 is too much, truly, but like you just gotta.
See, these are the niche Sero things that come from the Sero expert. This is what I was saying.
Fair. Okay, let's talk about it. All right. So I've put a lot of things. You've got 2 of all of in your sideboard, and so we just talk about the cards that I've now put in. I've only put in a couple cards.
Cool.
So, attack-wise, Grasping Tape Toss, Future Charge, Reverse Throw, Setup Strike are all super neato, as opposed to playing Sudden Tape Shot and Rapid Tape Strike. These are just this card says if my move's not blocked, my rival discards a card, but I have to commit a foundation to do so. Why would I not just play Off Guard Punch to get that same effect? Right?
Sure.
And just and it's still a 4 diff. It's a 2 high for 5. Once again, we don't care how fast it is. This is a 4 high for 4 with stun 1. Stun's neat. It's cool, but it's fine. But like, when would you ever make this a 6 diff? It's a 4 diff that you committed 2 foundations. Would you be okay committing 3 foundations to fully activate this card?
No, like literally, I only wanted it for the Sero enhance.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, you know what you do against face shield decks? You keep your shit high and low.
Fair enough.
You draw the 2 cards off. You leave this one mid, and look at them and wiggle your eyebrows and be like, face shield, and then these ones you're just like, hey, they're all highs and lows. You can block with face shield and take no damage. I'm an 8-hander for the turn. I'm down. You can't kill me next turn because of it.
Sure.
Right? That sounds sick. That sounds so sick. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that this is just such a trap. And then at the same time, are you down to commit 2 foundations to make this card work?
Well, okay. So I was just gonna change it with Sarah.
Sure. So this then either is a 6 high for 4 or a 4 low for 6.
Hmm?
What's the difference between that and whatever Grasping Tape Toss is doing, or whatever Future Charge is doing, or Reverse Throw, or help Setup Strike, right? Right. And Setup Strike says that when you play Setup Strike and it's your 3 high for 5, right, that your Indiscriminate Shock is now unblockable.
Sure. Get it to be a 6 low 5 or whatever zone you make it with Sero.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that these 2 cards are just like, they're just, especially with now that set 1 is like a thing of the past. I didn't like these in set 1. I especially don't like them when we actually have like real
a lesson
options.
set 2.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'd rather play full cowling than that card, than this card. At least, than this card. At least full cowling, like, I can actually interact with the thing my opponent's doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that said, though, this is your deck. I mean, if you do want to try Rapid Tape Strike, I would put it at a 1 of maybe, right? Like it's like a neat, cool tech piece to like look at your opponent and be like, yo, you can't block this with mids. You have to partial this thing. So this says draw a card, but what this actually says is take 4.
Right.
That's just what it says. And it says take 4. So on my move, I stunned 2'd myself to say that you take 4 and discard a card.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah, I'll take that exchange every day of the week. I'm down. I'm so down. Oh no, say it ain't so. You committed 2 of your own foundations so I can kill you? Sick.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with doing the off guard punch and maybe like reverse throw instead of tape shot.
I like reverse throw instead of sudden tape shot. Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's got that same low block as well. Yeah. I like off guard punch. I think it's neat. There's like I've got a void Sero that I played for an unfun event. I think that was playing this and the training knife strike or whatever. I mean, it was just all about discard your whole hand, please.
Sure.
and that felt cool and good. But I think that there's probably just more value in your setup strike.
Okay.
That's how I feel personally.
Off guard.
Over off guard.
Did you ever? Yeah, because it's the mid.
It's that same mid block, right? It's a mid block. It's a mid block, and we're losing rapid tape strike, which is a mid block, right? And then sudden tape shot is the low, which we get to play as reverse throw, and this is just the biggest. Whatever bait, but at the same time, it's a throw, so it guarantees goes on momentum. So my tape swings just feel better, right? Right. That's the thing about playing reverse throw and playing grasping tape toss is the two modes versus Sero are full block or don't block, right?
Yep.
And so if those are the two modes, then things like jolt always doing damage, tape swing always doing damage, reverse throw always doing damage, grasping tape toss always doing damage, means that you incrementally chip your opponent down, and then when you play a tape swing that they can't block, they're not allowed to because it's actually for 14 damage, and they're at 7, they lose. They just lose, right?
Sure.
Yeah. But once again, it's your choice. I also think the Slashing Whirlwind is like a 1 or a 2 of as well, just because we're so momentum hungry with tape swing. But I get that this card is really, really cool in Sero. This card's really, really neat. But the question is, do we want to spend the momentum here, or do we want to spend the momentum here?
Sure.
Right.
I like it as a 2 of, just as a kind of backup.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And if you want to play sudden tape shot, we can easily put it down to a 1 of as well. Right? You're playing this.
I'm cool with killing tape shot. Yeah, I was not terribly sold on that one.
I love that. I love that answer. Yeah, so from here, I think we're going to go triple reverse throw, and then we have the choice of either setup strike or grasping tape toss to cover our mid-block zone again, right? We get to play two of it, or 1 of each, or something along those lines. Grasping tape toss says that this attack will always deal damage, or it's bait for the shield, which we get to draw the 2 cards off of, or we have the setup strike that says that my next move is going to deal damage, so Indiscriminate Volt actually hits.
Yeah. I like setup better. It's got the better block too.
Also a lower difficulty.
Yep.
Okay, we are back to our 20 attacks. Look at that. We've kept our block zones the same as they were. Technically slightly worse because of the reverse throw is a 2 low. But this card is either full blocked or not blocked, so it's either 5 free damage or 5 free damage and you draw a card, or you get to hit them for 3. You hit them for 3 and you draw a card, or you hit them for 3 and they wasted a block, so that your cooler cards get to do things, right?
Yeah.
On
I
to
like that.
our foundations. Or first off, actions. I love Plus Ultra. I think Plus Ultra is sick. I think you should actually put Plus Ultra up to a 3 of, because Plus Ultra plus Tape Swing is a not fair interaction.
I had it at 3 at first, and then I was like, "Am I being greedy?" No. Okay, cool.
No.
Cool.
Plus Ultra Tape Swing is nuts. We've increased the throw count, right? So we got more throws here, and it also says Indiscriminate Shock. Whenever we set up strike, has plus 6 speed. It's a 12 low for whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. With this increase of Plus Ultra, we're going to put this up to a quick 4 of. Okay, from here, we now get to make a couple of choices. We get to make a couple choices. First off, we put Think Fast to a 3 of. Hero Killer is a neat card. I like this card a lot. I think this card is really, really cool. I think it works in the sideboard, though.
Okay.
And the reason is we don't have the weapons to give our things stun 2, so the card's only half alive. It only has 1 line of text, and its response or remove after the build unflip the remove it, right?
Sure. I think the problem was I didn't have, so I was brass stuff there.
That's okay. The thing about this card is it only works whenever it's only really good whenever you are winning. If you have gone first and you have more foundations than my opponent, it does not feel good to get rid of a foundation in order to go behind them.
Sure.
Which is why I personally like in the sideboard. You could like main board 1, side 2, and I think you'd feel pretty good about it. I don't like fusion in your order decks just because you have access to ice gliding, and ice gliding is just like a better card to do this with. I guess the +2 speed is good, rather than the ice gliding. Is this your EX or kick attack is +2 speed? No. Yes. No.
Fair.
No. Yeah, we'll just put in ice gliding. It's gonna do that same job.
Sure.
But now instead of the plus, it's +1 to anything, right? So I can make my tape swings a wee bit faster, just a wee bit.
Yeah.
Class speed introductions. Tell me why I'm playing this card. Now you're in trouble.
I'm figuring it. Yeah. I figure if they're not blocking, it's kind of nice because you can just keep tacking on that 1 speed. Like you can make them block early on. That way that isn't live.
I hate it. I hate it. I think they're just gonna block you, man. I think it's way cooler to play something along the lines of shock treatment. I think shock treatment is just be like a better tool and just be more impactful in the game for taking that same 2/5 slot, right? Like 2/5/2 mid block. I'd rather it be double shock treatment, and like when they have a thing to like interact with my board, I just like commit it down, right? It's just like 2 more jolts in my board. Would you play 6 jolts if you could?
Yeah.
Well, we're sitting right here.
Sure.
Here they are. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in instead of these classmate introductions. I think this is a deck for classmate, but I don't think this is it.
You have to deal with Lenoco though. You have to tell them that we took it out.
Yeah, that card sucks. Yeah, that card sucks. Lenoco gets to play that card in Moneta because he wants attacks in the card pool. He needs that first one blocked so that all of his moves have +2 damage, right?
Fair.
He needs that. I like challenging the fakes. I think that's a very cool card, but it's a very niche card. Fruits of Our Labor is messed up.
Yeah.
This card is not fair. But I don't know if there's a spot for it in your deck currently, right? It probably takes over this Unexpected Hero slot, but I think Unexpected Hero with Tape Swing is actually messed up.
It's so good. Yeah,
really,
I love
really
that
good.
interaction.
Let's see if I put any high blocks in your deck. Award the Victor. This card's cute, but it's not going to do anything. Blood Curdle. How you feel about Blood Curdle?
Just okay with it. I don't know, like feel like I could probably just run One for All. Like, I don't know.
I think Blood Curdle at a 1 of is really neato if your opponent has a deck that like kind of messes up your strategy, right? If your opponent has a deck like if you're playing against like a Kurigiri, right? Kurigiri will never let you resolve this card. You have to figure out how to beat them without it, right?
Sure.
They're gonna shove all 4 of these 2 checks at the bottom of your deck, and if you don't cycle correctly, right? If you don't count the bottom of your deck correctly, you're just gonna check 4 2s back to back. That sucks. And so just like knowing you've got the Blood Curdle in your deck and having not checked it yet, you can like sculpt your own hand and be like, well, I've got triple Tape Swing, and I've hit him with a couple of throws maybe, or he's like partial blocked, or he hasn't blocked one of my moves because he can't afford to let him get the cards. I'll Blood Curdle, then triple Tape Swing you. You're dead. There's nothing you can do about it. Sorry, man. These are all 8 damage minimum. By that time, you've probably found yourself a Think Fast as well. So they're all up 8, 9, maybe 11 damage, right? You actually throw 2 of these and you kill somebody, right? Think Fast, double Tape Swing is 22 damage. Right, so you're willing to commit the foundation for the Think Fast, and with this, you get to turn this thing back mid, so they can't even block with the face shield, right?
Sure.
11 damage, unblockable move. It's 11 or 5 damage, right? If they partial, and which makes you a 5-hander now, or sorry, an 8-hander. which means that like you just get to rebuild and do the stuff. I like this. I like this card a lot. The thing about Blood Curdle versus Full Cowling is my opponent doesn't get to interact. Or my opponent doesn't get to interact with Blood Curdle. They do get to have agency over Full Cowling. They just block it, right?
They can choose to block it.
Right. I mean, they have to block it, right? Which feels good. Like, they have to do that. But, like, they block it. They full block it. And you're like, well, okay. Neat. Neato. How cool. I love Dissolving the Conflict. I think this is neat. I love this card in your deck.
Yeah.
Let me go see if there's any other high blocks I want to add to your deck, actually. Let me go see if I can find something. High block Foundation, because I want to find something to replace 2 of those hero killers real quick. Drowning in Resentment is neat. Bonds of Friendship is a good card. Planning Ahead is so sick. I love Planning Ahead. Fulfill My Duty is not terrible. Or any of these tickling your fancy?
What's Planning Ahead again?
Planning Ahead is the 3/5/3 high block that says name an attack zone. If your rival's next attack this turn matches the zone, it gets -5 damage.
Oh, yeah.
Incredibly high skill card, and we're playing this 2-check and already playing Sticky Balls. It's risky for sure, but it's neat. It's very, very cool.
I'm okay with Fulfilled My Duty, I think.
Fulfilled My Duty. Yeah, I think that's a perfect side out. So yeah, we'll take and we'll leave the 1 hero killer. We'll put hero killer down to a 1 of because it's like a cool card. We'll put Fulfilled by Duty in instead, and we'll take the other hero killers and toss them into your sideboard. Let's look at our stats real quick. 18, 28, 18. That looks good. Are you okay with 64? It's a little deck heavy with only the 22 attacks. I think I'd want to go up to like 21, or maybe cut like 3 cards. But I don't actually know what necessarily cut foundation wise.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky.
Oh, we could just toss Setup Strike back up. We could toss Slashing Whirlwind back up. We could toss Rapid Tape Strike up to a 2 of because that was like part of the deal. Go 21 attack, 65 cards. That's a fun number.
It's a little better.
Number.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with that.
Or, I guess it actually goes the wrong way. We still haven't put him in Blood Curdle, which I think it's fine. It depends. Actually, since this is a locals deck, do you play against Nomu at all? Do you play against Nomu? Do you play against Kurigiri? Do you play against Shigaraki? Do you play against these characters that are really good and defensive?
No, not typically, actually.
Well, then leave it out. If you're playing a bunch of aggro decks and Blood Curdle's not doing shit for you.
Yeah. A lot of Todoroki 2.
Yeah, who cares about that?
Eraserhead, that kind of stuff.
Eraserhead is incredible versus Sero.
Yeah.
Eraserhead is very good versus Sero. Mid.
Yep.
And if he just turns your character off, we don't get to change it, or we have to actually waste the resource in order to change it. That sucks. That don't feel good. So maybe that's where my Blood Curdle comes in?
Sure.
Because every move is blockable in Eraserhead. Right? Even with the Setup Strike, every move is blockable. No.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Blood Curdle stays on the sideboard. I take out A+ Ultra for that, or thing else. They're mid for the Eraserhead matchup.
I don't hate that. At all.
Cool.
Any last minute thoughts?
I think this is pretty good. This is a nice little revision. I'll give it a go next or tomorrow. Yeah.
I love it. All right, man. Well, thanks for the support over on Patreon. I appreciate that. We'll catch you next time. Okay.
For sure.